welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and you are tuned in to South Coast Radio. And today we are shining the spotlight on one of South Africa's exciting emerging voices. Joining us in studio is singer-songwriter Sasha Burn, whose music is inspiring by home, nature, and heartfelt storytelling. She's just released her brand new single called Mountain Breeze, a song rooted in the beauty of the Western Cape. Let's find out more about her journey and the story behind the music. Welcome, Sasha. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm great, and you?
I'm great, thanks. Awesome to have you with us on South Coast Radio, Sasha. So, for the listeners meeting you for the first time, how would you describe your music in your own words?
I'd say I take bits and pieces from the artists that I personally listen to and my own stories. So I guess my music is a blend between Ed Sheeran, Noah Carr, Jeremy Loops, and Johnny Clegg all together, mixed with my own identity.
Wow, that's awesome. So you started.
Yeah.
So you started writing songs at just 9 years old. Do you remember what first drew you to music?
Well, for me, I've always had music as a part of my life. I grew up in the Caribbean on a small island called Antigua, and there was music everywhere. So growing up, I always listened to these amazing melodies by amazing people. So I always had songs in my head, and one day I just decided, you know what, why don't I try and make one?
That's really awesome. So you're a multi-instrumentalist. How does playing different instruments influence the way you write songs?
Yeah, it definitely influences it, depending on what instrument I write a song on. So if I write a song on a piano, it might be more slow, more relaxed, or even sadder, because for me, putting the energy into a piano takes a bit of time.
Yeah.
Whereas where I write on a guitar, which I prefer to do, I find the energy, I find the rhythm better, and that's where I get my best songs from.
Wow, that's great stuff, Sasha. So also, as you mentioned, so Ed Sheeran, as one of a few that you've mentioned before, is a big influence for you. What is it about his music that inspires your own songwriting?
For me, I really like to listen to the lyrics of a song,
Yeah.
not just the melody. And there are some songs for me that really resonate, not because I find them similar to what I have in my life, but just because I love hearing his stories. So, Nancy Mulligan or Castle on the Hill, those kind of things. I love listening to a story in part of a song. So I like putting that into my own music as well.
Great stuff, Sasha. So, was there a specific moment or place that sparked the idea for this song?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually in my room, but I suddenly had this vision, I guess you could call it, of me sitting on Table Mountain, looking down over Cape Town, and the feeling of gratitude and just, a feeling of home for me.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to put that in words, and Mountain Breeze it just came up in my mind immediately, and I had to put that down on paper. So that's kind of the idea of where it came from.
Awesome. Speaking of home, so your song Mountain Breeze is inspired by home and the Western Cape. What does home mean to you personally?
To me, home is not just about the house you live in.
Yeah.
It's about the people that are around you,
True.
the nature around you, the feeling of community and home and togetherness.
Yeah.
And for me, South Africa just resonates that so much. As well as my community around me, so that is home to me. Yeah.
Wow. And you've said this was one of your favorite songs to write. What made this experience so special?
I think I knew as soon as I started to write it and sing it that this song was going to be different. there was something about it, and I felt I almost matured as well with this new song. And having written it and then produced it at Pretty Loud with John O'Hailing, and hearing it come to life, I mean, it just changed my perspective on it completely.
That's really awesome, Sasha. So the song blends folk, pop, and South African influences. How would you describe the sound listeners can expect?
Yeah, I'd say for this song especially, it's very South African roots and vibes. So quite Jeremy Loopsy, a bit of folk pop in there. Definitely a bit Johnny Clegg, and a mix of these artists, but just giving this really rich South African vibe. That's what I would explain it as.
Great stuff, Sasha. And as you mentioned, recording with Pretty Loud Studios. So what was it like recording at Pretty Loud Studios with producer John O'Grayling?
Oh, so amazing. I was quite nervous at first going there because, I don't know anyone.
Yeah.
But we instantly clicked and everything came really naturally, and we had the same ideas about stuff, and Jono is an incredibly talented musician as well.
Wow.
So the guitar lines, all of those little bits and pieces come together so well. And I think everyone at Pretty Loud is just incredibly talented and so hardworking.
Really awesome stuff, Sasha. And so, looking forward, what are your hopes or dreams for your music journey in the next few years?
I'd say I would really, really love to travel and connect with more people and spread the music around, and just, I guess for me, creating a community that is positive and encouraging and spreading the love. Yeah, that's it for me.
Great stuff, Sasha. And finally, where can listeners find Mountain Breeze and keep up with your music?
So Mountain Breeze is available on all platforms, and my social media is Sash_Burn, and that's on Instagram, TikTok, wherever you name it. And yeah.
Great stuff, Sasha. Thank you for being with us live for this very moment and spent with us on South Coast Radio. And to the listeners, that was South African singer and songwriter Sasha Burn chatting to us about her music and her latest single called Mountain Breeze. Be sure to stream it now on all major digital platforms and keep an eye on this rising talent. Thank you for joining us, listeners, on South Coast Radio. Stay tuned as we're about to play Sasha's song, which is called Mountain Breeze right about now. You guys enjoy.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.